welcome to Technopedia India. This is Ruhan Narula and today we'll be checking out the smallest and the most reasonable phone in the iPhone 13 lineup, the iPhone 13 mini. So let's check it out. So when I say iPhone 13 mini, the first thing that you think of is the compromises, right? Because every time we think of a smaller phone, we think of the compromise. Well, not this year. See, there were lots of problems in the iPhone 12 mini, one of which was the battery life. And that has been improved here. Actually, this can last 2.5 hours more than the iPhone 12 mini, and this can actually last more than the normal iPhone 12, which is great and gets the work done for most people. I haven't tested the battery life, but if you want to check out, there's an awesome video by Mr. Who's the Boss on YouTube. I link it in the description and also on the top right of your screen. You can check that out, and in that he shows that it wins over the iPhone 12. So do check it out. Next, we'll talk about the display size. As I say mini, you think that it will be pretty small, right? Well, you are right and wrong. You are right because compared to the sizes of the phones these days, sure, yeah, it's smaller. But think about the people who are upgrading from the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, or even the iPhone SE 2 for that matter. They're getting a bigger display, a better performance, and an overall upgrade all packed into a smaller footprint which they are used to. So this phone is kind of for them. This phone is not exactly for pro users, it's for people who use their phone for general social media, chatting with friends and family, and also FaceTiming people. This phone is perfect for them and it's pretty reasonable given its features. For example, this phone is actually for my grandmother who used to own an iPhone 7. So she is upgrading from a 4.7-inch display to a 5.4-inch display. So she's definitely getting a good upgrade there. She's getting a bump in performance, great cameras, and all the new features in the iPhones. So it's a perfect phone for her, and it will be a perfect phone for a lot of people out there. So if you're thinking of buying an iPhone and you don't really need all the pro features, definitely consider the mini. The iPhone 13 and 13 mini have a Super Retina XDR OLED display with up to 800 nits of brightness, which is perfect for photographers and videographers. Also, this does not have the 120Hz ProMotion display. That is only limited to the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max. So if you really want the 120Hz, I think you'll have to buy the Pro or the Pro Max. This wouldn't do the job. Next, we'll talk about power. This phone has Apple's latest A15 Bionic chip with 128 gigabytes of storage, not 64 anymore. It starts at 128 gigabytes. And also, this is basically a phone, an excellent phone, which competes with the biggest and the most powerful phones in the market, while still all packed into an overall compact footprint, which is great. Next, we'll talk about the cameras. This phone has one wide and one ultra wide camera. The wide camera now actually captures 47% more light, and the ultra wide captures better low light pictures. So that's a great upgrade. This is actually Apple's most advanced dual camera system yet, which is awesome. This and the iPhone 13. And this actually happens to be a very nice phone for mobile photography and videography. I think I'll also make a few videos with this in the future. This phone is a great phone, and I can easily say that if you're a photographer and videographer who really uses those cameras, this phone is really nice for you. And I really like the new diagonal look. It looks fresh and new. There are quite a lot of features that Apple also introduced, like photographic styles. So what is photographic styles? I wouldn't say filters because it's smarter than filters. So what it basically does is it recognizes each color in frame and then adjusts each of them independently, which is awesome. Enough about the specs of the cameras, now let's test it out. So this is me recording from the inbuilt microphone and the inbuilt camera of the iPhone 13 mini. I am right now in the wide lens at 47% mode light, and it's at 4K 30 FPS. So as you can see, the picture quality is pretty crisp and clear. I hope you're liking this. This is without any color correction. Whatever you're seeing, it's all raw. So I hope you like it, and if you want, I think the microphone sounds good. I can't hear me right now. So Maybe I'll add some text over here while editing. Now I'll also have to show you cinematic mode, which is a new mode, and me as a videographer, I'm personally very excited for that. So I'll have to switch modes. I'll take cinematic mode in the next shot. Now this is me recording in cinematic mode again with the inbuilt microphone. Now the problem with cinematic mode is that it can only record in 1080p, so it's only HD, FHD, it's not 4K. So unfortunately it's not that good, but I hope that they add 4K to cinematic mode soon. Now the main thing of cinematic mode, can you see the blurry background? Well, yes, it's actually the portrait mode for videos. So in cinematic mode, you can get the shots that you see in those big movies. Yeah. Well, for example, so if I turn my head to the left, you'll see that it will switch focus to the background and then bring it back to my face when I turn my head again. 3, 2, 1. Pretty cool, huh? In cinematic mode, you can also later see how blurry the background should be. You can change it, and you can also change the focus later through your iPhone while clicking edit on the video, which is great. And also it's very handy that you can change the focus later, because sometimes it just doesn't focus at the right place at the right time in cinematic mode. So that's just smarter and very handy. Also, this has sensor shift technology in the cameras, which basically moves the sensor itself to make the videos more stable, which was earlier only in the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but now it's in this too. Apple also introduced Smart HDR4, which recognizes 4 people in a frame and adjusts color independently while still maintaining skin tone, which is great. The iPhone 13 mini's front camera also has all of these new features, which is great because nowadays we are clicking more and more selfies and also doing more and more FaceTime calls, so it's nice to have a really good looking front camera. Next, we'll talk about durability. Now, this iPhone has ceramic shield front and also a glass back. So it's actually pretty durable. And if you're a person who likes to rock their iPhone naked without any case or any screen protector, then I think this will be pretty durable. But if you are a person like me who likes to put on a nice case and a nice screen protector, then I recommend the Apple MagSafe case with, this is the silicone case. Actually, there is also clear and leather. The leather one will cost you more, but it will also actually last you longer, because like any piece of leather, the more you use it, the better it looks. So that is why the leather one is also really good. If you're looking at some third-party options and don't really want to spend that much, then I recommend buying from Spigen, Dbrand, Rhino Shield, or this really nice website known as dailyobjects.com. I'll link it in the description. Next up on my list is fingerprints. I hate fingerprints on my devices. I know it's a very minor thing and most of you don't really care about it, but I do. So that is why I thought that maybe I'll add this point. So the sides won't attract any fingerprints, nor would the camera bump. But the back would, as the back is made of glass, especially the Apple logo. Now, if you're planning on buying this phone and you are like a person who does not put a case, so I think you should get lots of microfiber cloth to keep on cleaning it, because you'll have to clean your phone from time to time to get those fingerprints off. So that is why I think I definitely recommend carrying a case, to keep this expensive device safe. But if you don't, then you'll have to make it work. Now, if you get the iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max, this wouldn't be a huge problem for you, because in the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, they actually have a matte back, a glossy camera bump, and a glossy side. So now you'll attract fingerprints to the side and the camera bump, not the back. So that I think they have to do that for design to make it look good, but it will still have some fingerprints, and I think the sides are where a finger go. So that is why it's not nice to have glossy sides, but they have it, so we can't do anything about it. And it honestly, I don't think it would look good if it was all matte. So that is why I think it's okay, Apple, I forgive you. Someone I met recently asked me which phone they should buy, and pretty common question, right? I recommended the iPhone 13 Pro because they're actually a pro user. They said that they considered the iPhone 13 Pro but didn't buy it because they actually use two different SIMs for business and personal. So they said that because it does not have dual SIM, they did not want to buy it. Well, I then told them that it actually has one eSIM and one nano SIM. So if you don't know what eSIM is, it's basically an electronic SIM which is easier to hack, but also it's just simpler to have in your phone. You don't have to worry about it, and it's easy to get. You don't have to wait for the sim to activate like we have to do in nano sims. Esims is the future, but unfortunately esim can easily be hacked, and also when you're switching phones it's tough to move the esim. So that is why I told them that it does have eSIM and nano SIM. Also, it also has dual eSIM. Now, what is dual eSIM? Dual eSIM is basically you can leave the nano SIM and you can use two eSIMs together if you really like eSIMs and you prefer them over nano SIMs. But don't expect all three of them to work together. So that's great. This does not have dual physical SIM, dual nano SIM. So that is why you'll have to get eSIM, normal nano SIM, or eSIM, which is not a big problem. I wouldn't say a big problem, but well, it's nice to have that feature. As you can see at the top of the display, the notch is now 20% smaller. Many people make fun of Apple for the notch, and many companies too, like Samsung. Samsung has actually has a lot of advertisements in which many people have a notch hairstyle and they make fun of Apple standing outside the Apple store. Now, I feel like they are just threatened by Apple, given that the notch houses a much more advanced Face ID recognition system than Samsung. See, Samsung uses the selfie camera to have a 2D face recognition system, whereas the Apple iPhones use 3D face recognition system using external sensors. That is why to fit those external sensors, they need the notch, whereas Samsung only needs the small camera. So that is why I think this is more secure, because in Samsung you can actually show the picture of a person and sometimes it might just unlock, which is not as safe and not as secure as this, because using Face ID can unlock a whole lot of things, because many people now also have all their cards and all their business cards, everything right in their phone, and they don't want that to be available to just any person, right? Also, the iPhone 13 mini is a bit thicker than the iPhone 12 mini, so don't expect the cases and all the accessories that you bought for the iPhone 12 mini to work with this if you're upgrading from the iPhone 12 mini to the iPhone 13 mini. So that is why that's very unfortunate that your accessories wouldn't work. Also, this color, I just have to mention this, it's beautiful. I really like this. This is a very subtle pink. This is the new pink color and it looks very beautiful, and this case actually happens to be pink. I really like that. It's a very subtle pink, not that tacky type of pink. So if you like this, then I think the pink is a very good choice for you. And this is actually available in 5 colors: starlight, midnight blue, product red, and pink. I like the pink. We've almost reached to the end of the video, so that is why I'll just summarize real quick. This is basically an excellent phone in a small footprint with a nice camera, great performance for some very specific people. So if you're not a pro user, this is for you. And if you don't really care about the big display size and you don't really watch movies or even YouTube videos on your phone, then I guess you can go with this option. This is a very nice phone. Definitely consider this. The iPhone 13 mini starts at Rs 69,900 in India, which is a nice price tag according to the Apple India standards. But if you want the bigger display and the better battery life, then I do recommend spending Rs 10,000 extra and getting the iPhone 13. So if you want to consider the iPhone 13, also check that out. Everything that I've talked about in this video is in the description. So if you want to buy some of this, do check it out. If you want to check out my review on the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, then click here. I hope you like the review, and that's for Pro users, so definitely also consider the 13 Pro and Pro Max. I find the Pro Max to be too big, but we all have our opinions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Stay home, stay safe. Catch you guys in the next one.